Hello, welcome in the video number 3 on the topic carbonyl compounds, aldehydes and ketones. So in this video we are going to discuss the remaining two reactions with respect to their statement, specific example and applications. So let's begin with the reaction number 4, that is Knoven-Gell condensation. Now what is this Knoven-Gell condensation reaction? So benzaldehyde on condensation with diethyl malonate in presence of base like pyridine followed by hydrolysis and decarboxylation gives unsaturated acid, and this unsaturated acid obtained is cinnamic acid. So in short, or in another words, we can say that Knoven-Gell condensation is the condensation of a carbonyl compound, that is in this case benzaldehyde. This condenses with a active hydrogen compound. So diethyl malonate is a active methylene compound, or it contains acidic hydrogens. So when such diethyl malonate condenses with benzaldehyde in presence of base, it gives the product which on hydrolysis followed by decarboxylation gives the unsaturated acid, and here the specific name of this acid is cinnamic acid. So this is the reaction. Benzaldehyde reacts with diethyl malonate in presence of this pyridine base, then there is dehydration followed by decarboxylation that results into the formation of cinnamic acid, which is unsaturated acid. Now as I mentioned, the base used in this Knoven-Gell condensation may be pyridine or piperidine or secondary or tertiary amines. They can also be used as base. So instead of, this is not the only one compound that is used in Knoven-Gell condensation with aldehydes. So this is one of the compounds which can be condensed with benzaldehyde. Other compounds which consist of active methylene group or which consist of acidic hydrogens, they undergo condensation with benzaldehyde, and that results into the formation of unsaturated acid. So here we can use diethyl malonate, then acetoacetic ester, or any active hydrogen containing compound. So this is the Knoven-Gell condensation. Now let us see the mechanism of this reaction. So it involves different steps. In step number 1, there is abstraction of proton to form carbanion. So remember one important thing, as we are in the fourth reaction of this topic, it is clear that whenever there is use of base in any reaction, the general role of that base is to remove hydrogen, acidic hydrogen, in the form of H plus ion. So in this reaction also acidic compound is there. This is diethyl malonate. So and we are using here base. So what is the general role of base? Base always removes or abstracts acidic hydrogen in the form of H plus ion. So this pyridine removes this proton, which is acidic one. So here CH2 group is there, one H is shown separately here. At this position CH group is there. So this one hydrogen is removed by this pyridine in the form of H plus ion. As a result, this carbon acquires negative charge, which is shown here, and this species is called as carbanion. This species is called as, this is the carbanion. Now this is the first step, that is formation of carbanion, or it is also called as enolate ion. So the second step of mechanism of this reaction is nucleophilic attack of carbanion to the carbonyl carbon of benzaldehyde. As we have mentioned, carbonyl carbon is always electron deficient, and whenever carbanion comes in contact with such a carbonyl compound, that carbanion attacks nucleophilically to this carbonyl carbon. So this is the negatively charged carbon from carbanion that attacks nucleophilically to this carbonyl carbon, electron deficient carbonyl carbon, and there is shifting of this pi electron towards this oxygen. So O minus, this C plus forms the bond with this C minus, and we are getting this anion. So this is the nucleophilic attack in the second step of carbanion to the carbonyl carbon of benzaldehyde. In the third step, the anion that is obtained in step number 2 get protonated. Protonation means addition of H plus ion. You can see here this is O minus, and there is addition of this H plus. So this H plus get added to O minus. There is formation of this OH, and it is called as beta hydroxy ester, beta hydroxy diester. Since two ester groups are there, more specifically it is called as beta hydroxy diester. In the fourth step, there is a dehydration of this ester, beta hydroxy ester. Actually, this word should not be there, unsaturated. This ester is not unsaturated. By mistake, this word has been printed unsaturated instead of unsaturated, beta hydroxy diester. So this beta hydroxy diester undergo dehydration, means removal of this H2O. So this OH and H from this carbon get eliminated in the form of water, and we obtain this double bond. This is the double bond. So this is the unsaturated diester. So let me correct one. Dehydration of this beta hydroxy ester to give unsaturated diester. That is correct. So this is unsaturated diester. Unsaturated diester. So this is beta hydroxy ester, and this one is unsaturated diester. So in the fifth step, this unsaturated diester undergo hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means addition of water. So addition of water, or here whenever there is a hydrolysis of ester, always we get acid, carboxylic acid as a product. So COOC2H5, COOC2H5, two ester groups are there. Two molecules of water get added across this bond, and we are getting here COOH group, COOC2H5 get hydrolyzed to COH. This COOC2H5 get hydrolyzed to carboxylic group, COOH group. And the last step, that is step number 6, decarboxylation to form unsaturated acid. So this is dicarboxylic acid. It consists of two COOH groups. Now after heating, CO2 molecule, this CO2 molecule get eliminated, and we obtain this unsaturated monocarboxylic acid. So this is the mechanism. These are the steps involved in the mechanism of Nobel condensation reaction. Now let us see the applications of Nobel condensation reaction. So the first application, it is used in the synthesis of 3-benzylidene 2,4-pentane dione. Now let us see this application. So this is benzaldehyde. This benzaldehyde undergo condensation with acetyl acetone. So this here there is a CH2 group. So that is active methylene group, or the two hydrogens of that CH2 group can be removed in the form of H plus ions as they are acidic. Now why they are acidic? Because this CH2 group is present in between this C double bond O group and this C double bond O group. So these two carbonyl groups induces strong negative inductive effect. As a result, this CH2 becomes, or the two hydrogens of CH2 becomes acidic one. So benzaldehyde undergo condensation with acetyl acetone in presence of piperidine base, followed by dehydration, and we are getting here 3-benzylidene 2,4-pentanedione. So this is the expected or desired product. So this is the first application of Nobel condensation. Now let us see this second application. It is also used in the synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. So salicyldehyde, this is salicyldehyde, and diethyl malonate undergo condensation in presence of base piperidine, followed by dehydration and decarboxylation to form ethyl coumarin 3-carboxylate. So this is the heterocyclic compound which can be obtained by using Nobel condensation. In this way we can apply Nobel condensation in the synthesis of variety of heterocyclic compounds as well as other compounds also. So this is about the Nobel condensation reaction. Now let us see the last reaction of this topic, Reformatsky reaction. Now what is this Reformatsky reaction? See the statement of this reaction: condensation of carbonyl compound. Again, the starting compound used in Reformatsky reaction is carbonyl compound with alpha haloester in presence of zinc metal and benzene or ether as a solvent to obtain beta hydroxy ester. So the starting compounds used in Reformatsky reaction are carbonyl compounds. Remember, along with these carbonyl compounds, alpha haloesters are used in presence of zinc metal and benzene or ether as a solvent, and the product of a Reformatsky reaction is beta hydroxy ester. So you should remember all these things: the starting compound, then alpha haloester is used in Reformatsky reaction, then zinc metal and benzene or ether are the solvents used in this reaction, and mainly the product of Reformatsky reaction is dash dash. This type of MCQ may be asked in the examination. So this type of MCQ must be there in the examination, because on 5 reaction one question might be there in the examination. So you should create a chart of 5 reactions. You just see the starting compounds used in all these 5 reactions, then reagents used in 5 reactions, and see the differences in the products of these reactions. In this way, when you study this topic, you will be able to understand all the 5 reactions. So this is Reformatsky reaction. Let me repeat: carbonyl compound condenses with alpha haloester in presence of zinc metal and benzene or ether as a solvent to get beta hydroxy ester as a product. So this reaction is called as a Reformatsky reaction. So it is represented here. This is alpha bromo ester. Bromine is the halogen, hence it is alpha bromo ester. Then this reacts with a ketone, which is carbonyl compound, and in presence of zinc and ether as a solvent, where we obtain this beta hydroxy ester, which is the product of Reformatsky reaction. Now let us discuss the mechanism of Reformatsky reaction. It involves 2 steps. In step number 1, zinc reacts with alpha haloester to form zinc enolate. Zinc reacts with alpha haloester to form zinc enolate. So in this reaction, zinc initially it is having a zero oxidation state, which get oxidized to +2 oxidation state, Zn +2. So this is the step number 1. So zinc carries one lone pair of electron. Oxygen C double bond O. The pi electrons, or the lone pair of electrons which are present on this oxygen, will be migrated towards this carbon. Zinc will form the bond with this oxygen, and there is formation of OZnBr. This Br will get eliminated in the form of Br minus. As Zn donates electrons to oxygen, Zn will acquire positive charge. Zn plus and Br minus, there is formation of ZnBr, OZnBr bond, and here there is these 2 electrons on oxygen will get shifted at this position, whereas these pi electrons will be shifted at this position, which is shown here in this way. So pi electrons will be shifted in this way. As a result, we obtain this zinc enolate. So this is the first step number 1. In step number 2, zinc enolate reacts with aldehyde or ketone. Here we are using ketone as a carbonyl compound to form zinc alkoxide, which on hydrolysis forms beta hydroxy ester. So zinc enolate reacts with carbonyl compound and it forms a zinc alkoxide, which undergo hydrolysis to form beta hydroxy ester. So this is shown here. So this is the ketone compound. This is the zinc enolate, which is obtained here. Just it is splitted in different way. OZnBr bond is shown separately, or to understand the mechanism they are shown in this way. So this ZnO bond will get shifted towards this position. This CC double bond will get shifted at this position. This C double bond O electrons will be shifted at this position. So there is a movement of the electrons, or movement of electrons in cyclic manner, so as to get this zinc bromo complex. Zinc bromo, it is also called as organo zinc compound. So this is organo zinc complex is obtained. This organo zinc complex is obtained, and this on hydrolysis by using acid we can obtain this beta hydroxy ester. Beta hydroxy ester. Just this in hydrolysis, the addition of H2 occur across this OZn bond, and we are getting this beta hydroxy ester. So this is the mechanism of a Reformatsky reaction, which occurs in 2 steps. Now let us discuss the applications of Reformatsky reaction. It is used in the synthesis of alpha beta unsaturated ester. So Reformatsky reaction has wide applications. Out of these, one of the applications is synthesis of alpha beta unsaturated esters. Now in this case, benzaldehyde, this benzaldehyde undergo reaction with ethyl bromoacetate in presence of zinc, benzene, followed by acid hydrolysis, which forms alpha beta unsaturated ester. Alpha beta unsaturated ester. So the product of Reformatsky reaction is beta hydroxy ester, which we have seen in previous reaction. So this is beta hydroxy ester. Now if we remove this OH and H from this CH2 group, there will be double bond between these 2 carbon atoms. So we can get the unsaturated ester, which is shown here. So initially from this reaction, initially we get beta hydroxy ester, no doubt. That beta hydroxy ester undergo dehydration to form alpha beta unsaturated ester. So in this way we can prepare alpha beta unsaturated esters. Second application, important application, is it is used in the synthesis of beta ketoesters. It is used in the synthesis of beta ketoesters. Now see the example, methyl cyanide. This is methyl cyanide. On reaction with ethyl bromoacetate by using the usual reagents of the Reformatsky reaction, we are getting here beta keto ester, CH3CO CH2COOC2H5. So this is how we can synthesize beta keto esters, variety of beta keto esters using Reformatsky reactions. So this is about the Reformatsky reaction. So here we come to the end of the topic aldehydes and ketones, in which we have seen the introduction, then structure and nomenclature of aldehydes and ketones, reactivity of carbonyl compound, and thereafter 5 reactions with respect to their mechanism and applications also. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me anytime. Thank you very much.